guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nadine, and welcome back to a brand new video. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I do all kinds of things on my channel. I do midwifery related content, I do beauty content, fashion content, I do vlogs, all kinds of things on my channel. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And for all my new subscribers, all my returning subscribers, thank you guys for joining my family and sticking by me. So in this video, without me going on and on, so in this video I decided to show you guys the books that saved my life while I was studying midwifery. I still have these books because after I finished my degree, I still like to read and understand certain things. I didn't read the whole book. There's things that I missed out. It's just good for me to still have these books. I can sit down, I can read and understand them more clearly, whereas when I was studying, it kind of I only read them for if I had an exam, if I had an essay. I didn't actually read and take time and actually understand each chapter and every meaning. Before I show you these books, I just want to say that most of these books were given to me for free, and most of these books are available in the library of your university. You can get them on Amazon in the library for free. It's just that these books were given to me for free by my university, and yeah, I'm just going to show you guys the books that saved my life. So I'll start with this book. So you may have seen this book in my previous video when I explained about university essentials. So this is a referencing book. It helped me understand how to reference. I had zero knowledge on how to reference, so this book literally has everything. If you are referencing a book, an article, a journal, a website, anything, literally everything, if you have any issues with referencing, I suggest this book is your go-to. You can get this probably in your library for free. You don't have to actually go and buy it. Just have a look in your libraries to see if it's actually available to you. But I have seen this on Amazon as well, so you can also check that out if you want this book. But yes, this book was very helpful to me. It gives examples on how to format it, how to correctly reference each text in each book. So it's just clearly detailed with examples, with headings. It makes it very easy to read for people that literally have no clue or just don't know what they're doing in terms of referencing. So yeah, this book definitely saved my life when I was writing my essays and doing all of that. So the next book that saved my life when I was studying midwifery is this book. You guys have probably seen this book. I feel like this book is given to every single student when they start midwifery, or they have seen it when they start midwifery. So Physiology in Childbearing with Anatomy and Related Biosciences. So this book, literally, when it came to my anatomy and physiology exams, when it came to diseases, how things change during pregnancy, all of that, it was all here with diagrams. It's all in sections, it's clearly labeled, it's in different sections so you understand correctly. So this book really helped me. I feel like I used this book throughout my 3 years. There was not a time in my when I was studying midwifery where I didn't actually refer back to this book. So yeah, this book was very helpful, just so you understand what's going on with the body when a woman is pregnant, what things changes, the anatomy and physiology and all of that. It's very simple. Some of these anatomy and physiology are so complicated, and literally understanding them, it will take you years. But I feel like this really helped me understand anatomy and physiology because it just gets straight to the point. It just says what it says what it says, it does what it does, and yeah. And I'm still even reading it till now. I still flick through it now and then, trying to understand a few things. But yeah, this book definitely was a plus. So the next book that saved my life was this book. So I feel this is another book that I feel like every single midwifery student has seen or sees while they are studying midwifery. If you haven't seen this book, I don't know where you've been, but this book literally is everywhere. There's even a pocket-sized version of this. There's even you can view this online. It's available on in your libraries, but they gave this book to us for free. So this book is actually mine. I will have this forever. It was given to us for free. I would have loved the little pocket sized one, so I don't have to carry around, you know, this big box, this big book. But this has everything you need to know when it comes to studying. Literally, it has midwifery in context, it has public health and all the public health issues, it has, you know, childbearing, it has anatomy and physiology. So there's anatomy and physiology section in this book. So it's not only just that, you also have this to refer to if you want, you know, different types of referencing. It has pregnancy, it has labor and birth, it has postnatal care and newborn care. It just has everything, every single thing that you will learn within the 3 years of midwifery, and you can find in here. Antenatal, labor, postnatal, newborn, anatomy and physiology, public health, all in this book. So this book was very, very useful. I used this as well throughout my 3 years when it came to writing my essays, when it came to revising for exams. I took most of my knowledge from this book, so this is definitely a plus. So another book that was really helpful while I was studying was this book, is the Critical Care Assessment for Midwives. Because obviously I wasn't a nurse before I started midwifery. I literally came from whatever I was doing and straight into midwifery. I had no nursing background. I had a general health and social care background, but I had no nursing background. So I feel like this book helped me in terms of critical care and how to, you know, care for the critically ill. So it has your basic, you know, observations, what you do, the parameters, you know, what to do, the anatomy and physiology. Like if something isn't right, it has the anatomy and physiology to explain why, you know, things go wrong, and how to prevent things, how to manage things, and just how to care for critically ill women as midwives. So yeah, so this is just for midwives. It's critical care for midwives. Also, just to add on, in this book there's a lot of information around sepsis, how you handle sepsis, how you monitor sepsis, you know, the steps when a woman becomes septic, how to handle and manage shock, including anaphylaxis. Also there's stuff like, you know, sickle cell crisis, there's hemorrhage, there's preeclampsia, there's, you know, there's all sorts of things in this book that you as a midwife will have to deal with, or you will have to see. And this book literally outlines, you know, the methods, the conditions, how to prevent it, how to monitor it, how to you know, the physiology behind it, why these things happen. And you know, everything is outlined in this book, including some pictures to I don't know if you can see that these pictures in the book also clearly, you know, states what each function is in the body, what it's there for, what it does. But yeah, so this book is really, really good. So I highly recommend this one as a go-to guide if you guys are, you know, struggling with, I think like in my 2nd year we kind of started with, you know, complicated pregnancies, things that, you know, could go wrong, conditions in pregnancies, infections, you know, dealing with things like hemorrhage, sepsis, shock, resuscitation and all of that jazz. So yeah, this book literally outlined everything you need to know in terms of critical care assessment for midwives. So this book was very, very handy. So another book that I had that helped me during these 3 years, this book, let me just say, this book came into play in my 2nd year. I didn't use this book at all in my 1st year, but when it came to 2nd and 3rd year, I was literally glued to this book. So this book is The Medical Conditions Affecting Pregnancy and Childbirth. So it's just basically your medical conditions during childbirth. So it has everything in there. So in this book it has your diabetes. So it also, you know, states the types of diabetes. It has type 1, type 2, gestational diabetes, and the care issues around it. It has also the role of the midwife in terms of looking after a diabetic woman. It has the psychological issues, and it also has the common drugs that a woman will use, or what we would prescribe prescribe when looking after a woman with these conditions. So literally outlines everything. So each condition has its own section with, you know, the physiology, blood tests, you know, the complication, the type of the complication, the role of the midwife, you know, common issues around midwifery, you know, a medication that, you know, these women tend to be on with that condition, or what we can also prescribe, or what we also give when we are, you know, looking after these women with these conditions. So yeah, this was very helpful during my second year when we started looking into complications within pregnancies and conditions within pregnancies. I was literally glued to this book. Also went out on placement when you were seeing so many complications and conditions. I kind of referred back to this book and be like, okay, so I saw a diabetic woman today in clinic, and then I will open this book which clearly states the role of the midwife when looking after a diabetic woman. It also outlines the medication that they'll be on. It also outlines the physiology. It also outlines, you know, everything, the care pathway. It has definitions of each condition. Literally, this book helped me out a lot. Let me see what other conditions are actually in this book. So there's digestive problems, you know, preeclampsia, thyroid disease, eating disease. There's literally all the conditions that will affect pregnancy and childbirth in this book, and it's just a good book to reference from. I'm sure you can find these books in your libraries or on Amazon, but I said again, this book was actually given to us for free. When we started second year, they handed these out for free. So another book, I don't even know why I'm excited about these books, but anyway, I'm just thinking back to when I was a student and how these books literally were my go-to. So this book literally saved my life when it came to OSCEs, when it came to Vivas, and when it came to actually finding a job after I qualify. I was using this book when it came to like interviews, when it came to yeah, applying for jobs, and when it came to my OSCEs. This book, lifesaver. It's emergencies around childbirth. So it has your PPH, it has your shoulder dystocia, it has your what's the other ones, APH, it has your cardiac arrest, it has your everything, all the emergencies around childbirth. This book has it, and it literally explains what you would do, what your role would be, why it happens, the procedures, the medication, the role of the midwife. It summarizes everything perfectly in each section depending on the emergency. So it just tells you, you know, the physiology, why it happens, what you should do when it happens, and also the role of the midwife, the observations that this woman or this baby has to be on after the emergency. It clearly states everything. This book was very helpful when I was doing my OSCEs, when, you know, our OSCEs were around birth emergencies, and we had to demonstrate that we know how to handle a birth emergency if it came around. So this literally helped me with my OSCEs, also with my interviews, because during the interview process they also ask you about birth emergencies and how you would respond if you had, for example, a shoulder dystocia or a breech birth or a PBH. So literally when I was doing my interviews, I brought this book back out and I read it and I revised everything. So yeah, this is definitely a good book. A book that saved me while I was studying was this book, Infections Affecting Pregnancy and Childbirth. I don't know why I can't say childbirth today, but childbirth. So this book has all your infections such as HIV, such as, you know, sepsis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, all your sexually transmitted infections, group B strep, hepatitis, whooping cough, everything, chickenpox, malaria, measles, rubella. It has all your infections and how these infections will affect women during pregnancy and childbirth. So this one was a very good book when it came to also my second year, when we looked at more complicated pregnancies and more complicated births. This was a good good referencing book. It went hand in hand with my birth emergencies, also my general care of women that I saw. So yeah, very easy to understand. Everything was laid out very easily in this book. It's not complicated. They go straight to the point. They summarize each point, making it so clear. Like when I was reading this book, there was no time that I was confused. Like everything just made sense. I'm not even trying to sell you guys this book. I'm just trying to tell you how amazing or how helpful these books were to me, because I genuinely feel like these books, I'm gonna keep them for a while until I have literally read every single page. But yeah, that's how good they are. That's how helpful they were. Okay, so this next book literally is another one that saved my life. This book I got towards the end of the beginning of my 3rd year. I didn't know this book existed, but when I did find out about this book, I was like, where has this book been all my life? This book could have saved me from beginning of 1st year. So if you're a 1st year student and you're thinking about how you can understand medication and how you can pass your medication assessments and all of that jazz, and you're looking for a perfect book, I suggest you get this book. This book is small. You can keep it in your pocket on placement. Very easy, very light to carry around. It has all the medications that are used during pregnancy. It has all the side effects, contradictions. It has the route of admission of the medication. It has the contraindications. It also outlines the risk of the fetus if this medication is given while baby is in utero. It also has the risks of the medication if a woman is breastfeeding. So it literally outlines every single thing, including if it's a midwifery exempt, if it's a control drug, if it's a pharmacy only drug. It literally explains everything. So yeah, this was a very good book when I was doing my medication assessment in on placement. So on placement, there was the point where we had to sit down with one of the CPFs and they will literally test you on medication. They will ask you, what's this medication? What does it do? What are the side effects? What are the contraindications of this medication? What effects does it have on the fetus? What effects does it have on a woman that is breastfeeding? Literally. So without this book, I would have had to do a lot of searching around in terms of finding out this information, whereas this book is all in one place. I just have to look for the name and everything is there, rather than me trying to go like through a whole BNF or go on Google where some things are just not available or some things are not accurate. I can just go straight to this book and it will tell me straight, it will give me the answer straight away. So this book legit saved my life when it came to finishing my degree, and I still read it now. There's a lot of medication that I still don't know, so I take this to work with me when I go to work. If I come across a new medication, I just quickly read up on it in here. If there's no BNF around, I just quickly grab this and just kind of read on it. So the last and final book that I'm gonna show you guys is Skills for Midwifery Practice. So I have the old version, but there's a new version. I think it came out in 2017 or even probably sooner than probably even 2018. But there's a newer version of this, but this book literally, oh, it has a lot of good information. Things like palpation, what are you looking for, how to palpate, the position the woman needs to be in before you palpate her, and you know, the reasons why we do, you know, why we palpate, why we auscultate, how we auscultate. It literally has every skill that a midwife performs. It outlines how to do it, why we do it, the documentation. It has, you know, key points, what we're looking for, what we're observing for. It literally outlines every single thing. So let me just look at the front of the book and just kind of give you guys a brief summary of what's in this book. So it has, you know, assessment of maternal and neonatal well-being, how to assess that and how to correctly assess fetal and maternal well-being, principles of abdominal palpation, principles of infection control, principles of hygiene needs. It has literally everything. Principles of interpartum skills, assessment of the baby, principles of drug administration. So when you're doing your OSCEs on how to give a medication safely and effectively, it gives you the principles on how to effectively and safely administer medication, including, you know, the legal aspect, you know, the routes, oral, injection. Yeah, so this book literally was really good when I was out on placement and I was trying to figure out, you know, how to do certain things and how to, you know, care for women antenatally, and, you know, the assessment process and how to palpate, just everything. It has also pictures explaining everything in more detail. It's in sections, so it's very easy to like read and understand. So yeah, this book was very, very helpful. But if you do want to read this book, get the more updated version. I have the really old version. I found this book in my house because, you know, my mum's also a midwife, so this is the book she used when she was studying, so this is very ancient, like very old. But when I was looking for my information to reference, I used the most updated version, so yeah, so that I wouldn't kind of get confused, or I was correctly, you know, you can't reference work, you can't reference books or articles, or anything you reference can't be out of date. The rule for us was it can't be, you know, over 10 years. But yeah guys, that was basically it for this video. I just kind of wanted to show you guys the books that really helped me while I was studying. If I think of any more books that I couldn't show you, I will definitely link them in the description box below. Also, if I find any links to where you can buy these books, I'll also link them in the description box below. Comment below what other kind of videos you want to see, whether it's midwifery related videos or whether it's like other videos that you want to see. Just let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you know, thought it was helpful. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.